Different parts of New York experience different temperatures.
As much as a 15-degree difference, says this City College professor.
This is related to the materials that are found in urban areas, like the buildings, the asphalt, the concrete. They can store more heat, and then they radiate this heat back into the atmosphere.
Some of the hottest neighborhoods, he says, Astoria, Queens, Williamsburg, Brooklyn, and Hunts Point in the Bronx,
where the buildings are only like 2-story high. They don't have the shading. They don't have the impact of trees and so on.
Researchers at City College have been monitoring the meteorological characteristics of New York City for years and found our summers are consistently getting warmer and longer.
Our summers could start from actually May or even April, and they could go all the way to like September.
After the harsh winter we just had, some might say bring it on. But experts say we're actually not prepared for this extreme heat. All this week, City College is hosting the International Conference on Urban Climate, attended by experts from around the world, to discuss ways to mitigate the rising temperatures in cities like New York.
For example, if you have a green roof, or if you have a more reflective roof surface, so most of the energy, instead of getting absorbed by the buildings, they can be reflected back into space.
In the meantime, New Yorkers and tourists alike came up with their own ways to try and beat the heat today.
That's why I brought this.
Son Lee swears by walking under an umbrella,
Water, $1.
while Francisco Negron says this weather is good for his business.
Yeah, you gotta stay hydrated.
And Agnes Boy estimates it's 10 degrees cooler just sitting in the shade.
I think about 85.
Now, these folks are playing through this heat, but again, they're in the shade. Remember, as many as 100 deaths are attributed to sweltering conditions in the city every single year. And that's why it's so important that if you're in one of these areas, especially where that urban heat island effect is so strong and you don't have air conditioning, that you head to a local cooling center. For everybody else, they really encourage. Again, okay, it's a little bit later in the day. They're in the shade, so if you want to sit outside, okay, but they really want you to avoid any sort of strenuous activity, not just during the heat of the day, but pretty much all day, because of the air quality conditions.